So what is breathwork? Breathwork is a beautiful healing modality which can help us access different parts of ourselves that may be holding us back in certain ways. And these things may be things like behaviours, dysfunctional patterns, subconscious thought patterns, and they may be causing us to not really move on in our lives, and they might be sabotaging our lives. So breath work can be a really beautiful access into observing what these patterns are and how they are stuck in the physical body. And so by using the breath and using the technique, the circular breathing technique, we get to access what's holding on, or what we're holding on to in the physical body and also in the subtle bodies. So the breath work allows us to enter these states of relaxation where we get to become the observer of what's holding us back. Rather than replaying the trauma, we get to become the observer, and through the breath we get to breathe it out. That's the beautiful thing about the element of air. It's so transformative. So allowing yourself to trust the process of the breath work can really help you enter a place of just trusting life in general. Okay, so how does breath work? So using the circular breathing technique, it actually puts us in a deep, deep state of relaxation. And once we're in this deep state of relaxation, we can start becoming aware of the resistance and the triggers in the body. So once we start becoming aware of one of those triggers, it might be a twitch, or it might be a space of resistance, we allow ourselves to start moving towards the resistance. And rather than replaying the story, we become the observer of the resistance. And it can actually take us into a space where we can start releasing that trauma. So, it might be that, we feel like we want to cry or shout or even laugh hysterically. But the breath work actually moves into the cells of the body. It gives us a place and a space to release through the breath, moving that emotion, that subconscious thought pattern through the breath and out of the body. And it's great because we don't need to relive the actual situation. We're just allowing the emotion or the trauma to be released through the breath. So what are the benefits of doing breath work? So you're going to find that you're just more peaceful. You have probably more of a conscious bodily awareness. So you might feel that you're more embodied. You're actually more in your physical body. You might find that you're just living with more conscious awareness. So you're just more consciously aware of, being alive, doing your day-to-day activities. And once we've released this trauma, you feel that you've got more clarity, you feel like you have more energy, and basically you just feel like you've got more room for joy. So breath work and the benefits of breath work might take for some people 1, 2, 3 or 4 sessions. And for some people, it might take years before, they work through some of those heavier burdens that they might be carrying. But it's very different for everybody. So just one breathwork session might do a world of good, but you might need more.
To practice the continuous breathing, you'll first need to find a comfortable place to lie down. Make sure your neck is straight without a pillow, and if possible, give the breath a clear passageway to completely be absorbed by the body. Take a deep breath. The reason it's called a conscious connected breathing is because we are conscious of our breathing, and it's connected because the in-breath will meet the out-breath and the out-breath will meet the in-breath, somewhat like a figure 8. For the best results, there is no gap between the in-breath and the out-breath. We breathe through the nostrils as there is a point where the element of the air is transmuted into prana, where we will get the full effect of the breath work. Continuing the in-breath and the out-breath with deep inhalations as far into the abdomen and belly as possible, committing to a deep in-breath and allowing ourselves to surrender on the out-breath. There is nothing we need to do on the out-breath. The aim is to surrender. In the background, we have the bodily sensations, which may be anything from a tingling to a twitch, hot or cold sensations. You may feel tension, or you just might feel relaxed. Once you become aware of a bodily sensation, allow yourself to be guided by the breath into the sensation. Allow the sensation to be your guide, as it may lead you to something buried deep within the cells of your body. It could be a memory, a sound, or a smell. When you feel you have completion of this, go back to the breath. The breathing technique lasts for about an hour to an hour and a half. In the last 5 minutes, you will hear the sound bowl. This is letting you know that the breathing session is coming to a close. I invite you to bring your breath back to its natural form. If you feel the urge, please roll onto one side, making sure you feel comfortable and relaxed. As a breath worker, I am here to guide you and support you through your breathwork journey. During a breathwork session, towards the end, you may find that you move into a place of deep rest or bliss, a sacred space where you can lie and be with your most sovereign self.
Looking after yourself after breath work is really important. Because we've used the element of air, we may feel quite, in our heads. We might even feel very light. So eating something really substantial could really help put you back into the physical body. Chocolate's great, but a piece of toast, a cup of tea, but something to bring you and ground you back into the physical body. If you're feeling quite emotional after a breathwork session, a bath is really good. It's going to help clear any of those all of those emotions that you haven't really been able to resolve. Sometimes it can feel like something's kind of stuck and you're wanting to release that more. A shower, a hot bath is great. If you're really wanting to kind of cleanse the auric field, a fire is really good. So going up into an open fire and just standing around it can really help to cleanse the auric field. Make sure that you kind of be gentle with yourself after a breathwork session. Why? Because you've just released a lot of emotions that you've been holding on to for a long time. So you might feel like a little bit vulnerable, you might feel like a little bit open. So just to be really aware that you might be feeling a little bit more sensitive than usual. You might feel a little bit more emotional than usual. Create a safe space around yourself. Make sure you have a good sleep and don't go into any really full-on activity. Relax and just to be really kind and gentle with yourself. So there's some tips for you on how to look after yourself after a breathwork session. And one last thing, congratulate yourself for doing the breathwork and giving yourself the space for your own healing. Lots of people just don't think it's important, but it is. Looking after your well-being is one of the most important and best things that you can do for yourself. If you look after yourself, you can look after others. I look forward to seeing you around and maybe join me for a breathwork session one day.